Smartphone makers are officially locked in an arms race, and right now, the ultimate weapon is the battery. We are now seeing devices packing massive 8,000 milliamp-hour power cells. That brings us to the iQOO 15T. It sits directly in the middle of iQOO's lineup, slotted between the 45,000 rupee 15R and the ultra-premium 75,000 rupee 15. At an expected price of 55 to 60,000 rupees, we have to figure out exactly what this phone is trying to be. Is it a true flagship alternative for the masses, or a highly specialized tool for a specific type of user? This scorecard shows what you get. You buy an 8,000 milliamp-hour battery, a 144 Hz 2K display, and a Dimensity 9500 chipset. But these numbers come with a physical tax. You're also buying a 225-gram chassis, zero wireless charging, and a weak 16-megapixel selfie camera. To evaluate this phone accurately, we need to look past the marketing hype of those top-line specs and understand the daily reality of those compromises. Choosing a phone strictly for its benchmark scores, without factoring in the literal weight it adds to your pocket, leads straight to buyer's remorse. Let's start with the most obvious physical reality of the 15T. Housing an 8,000 milliamp-hour battery requires serious bulk. The benefit here is absolute freedom. You get a genuine 2 days of standard use, or the ability to run heavy games at a sustained 60 frames per second without hunting for a wall outlet. But that endurance costs you in comfort. As you can see, a standard 5,000 milliamp flagship typically sits around 190 grams. When you jump to an 8,000 milliamp capacity, the weight spikes to 225 grams, causing wrist fatigue during one-handed scrolling. While the battery takes a while to drain, it fills up quickly thanks to the included 100-watt wired charger. However, you won't find any wireless charging coils inside. At the 55,000 rupee bracket, that is a standard convenience feature most users expect. The 15T forces a very clear compromise. You have to decide if never worrying about a charger is worth giving up the lightweight comfort of standard everyday carry. Beyond the battery, the 15T relies on raw processing power. The Dimensity 9500 chipset acts as a desktop-class engine designed for maximum throughput. It pulls a massive 3.7 Million AnTuTu benchmark score, firmly securing its position as a top-tier performance device. To showcase that graphical processing, iQOO included a 6.82-inch, 144 Hz 2K LTPO AMOLED display. It's a highly immersive screen, capable of hitting an extreme 4,500 nits of peak brightness for HDR multimedia. But economics dictate that you cannot sell 2K displays and elite silicon for 55,000 rupees without cutting costs somewhere else. Here, those cuts happen in the software and connectivity layers. You lose out on modern conveniences like eSIM support, and you will likely have to navigate third-party bloatware baked into Origin OS 6. The engineering budget clearly prioritized the screen and the processor, leaving the premium connectivity and software refinement behind. That same aggressive allocation of resources is obvious in the camera system. It isn't an afterthought, but it is heavily lopsided. The rear array is highly capable, utilizing a 200-megapixel primary sensor alongside a 50-megapixel ultrawide that includes autofocus. This hardware produces excellent 4x portrait shots and easily handles 4K video recording at 60 frames per second. But flip the phone around, and the hardware takes a severe downgrade. You get premium specs on the back, but only a basic 16-megapixel sensor on the front. Your front-facing video is hard-capped at 1080p, with absolutely no 4K option available. That single hardware limit completely disqualifies this phone if you are a vlogger, a TikTok creator, or anyone who relies heavily on the selfie camera. iQOO built a system meticulously designed to capture the world in front of you, while actively penalizing users who want to capture themselves. So, stepping back from the individual numbers, how does the 15T actually hold up as a daily driver? The reality is that this is a highly specialized piece of hardware. It is uncompromising in its focus, which means it is absolutely not a balanced flagship for the general public. To figure out if it belongs in your pocket, let's use this decision matrix. If you're a power user demanding sustained frame rates in heavy games, the 15T is a clear buy. If you value easy one-handed scrolling and wireless charging, skip this. And if you're a creator focused on high-res selfie videos, look for a camera-focused mid-ranger instead. Adding nearly a quarter kilogram of weight to your pocket is a literal burden. You can only justify carrying that mass if you are actively exploiting the extreme battery capacity every day. Direct. Do not buy massive specifications just for the bragging rights. Excess computing and battery capacity that you don't actually use quickly turns into an everyday annoyance. Before you spend 55,000 rupees, reflect honestly on your actual daily habits, rather than the aspirational power user you might want to be. The iQOO 15T is a masterpiece of mobile endurance and brute force, but its true value depends entirely on whether your lifestyle demands those extremes enough to tolerate the compromises that come with them.